Hello, welcome to my channel, Fabulously Frugal and Fancy. I'm Brandy, and here we talk about everything frugal. We love to save money here. Today we're going to be doing another DIY for you, more fall DIYs. These are from Dollar Tree, some products from Home Depot. Always on a budget, always working to save money to make some beautiful things. So I hope you enjoy these. Stick around to the end and we'll chat later. Bye. Okay, and this piece of wood I picked up at Home Depot is about $6.50, and I'm using Unicorn Spit Gel Stain. If you do not know what this is, you've got to check it out. It is absolutely phenomenal. I love the colors. They're so vibrant, and when you're using a stain, you can still see the wood grain come through. This is a gel stain, so you can use a lot of water with it and mix it, make it lighter if you want. I wanted mine a little bit more vibrant, so I didn't do that. Here I am just trying to get that sticker off, and that's a trial. The sticker was really embedded in there, and my scraper was kind of trying to dig into the wood a little bit, so I then had to kind of switch to Goo Gone as well. So it just takes me a little while to get that sticker off of there. But again, on this unicorn stain, unicorn spit gel stain, it is just vibrant colors. You can mix them, you can make a marbled effect. I've done that on other projects. This time I'm just using the blue, and I believe it's called Thunder Blue. I will link it below in the description box. I do link everything below in my description box, and I also link alternate things. So if you can't find, say, the item at Home Depot or Dollar Tree or Walmart, I do try to find alternative things for you to use, and those are usually Amazon links because it's where you can pretty much find everything. So sometimes they're not the same price as what I got, but they are reasonably priced. So I do have links for like items listed in my description box for everything that I use, so that if you can't find what you're doing, just look. And here I'm just adding just the straight unicorn spit at first, and then I do dip a rag in some water and spread that around, get it fully all over the place, and I really do saturate it. You can spray your board first. It makes it a little bit more movable. It moves around pretty well when you use that. And I just cover the entire front of the board. This is a rather large board because I'm making an outdoor sign. And so this one is for a porch, and this is a water-based gel stain, so you do want to use an oil-based coverage when you seal it in. You don't want to use a water-based because it can mess it up. You just because it's a water-based gel, you want to use oil-based. So I just cover the whole thing, and that's, you can still see this grain. All right, now I'm taking this large placemat. It's as large as my arm. I'm showing you that there. Got that at Dollar Tree, and I am just I take a piece of leather and a G that I printed off of my computer, and I want to make a letter monogram on there, so I'm doing that in leather, just tracing it, cutting it out of the piece of scrap leather that I have, and I will have a link for some leather below so that you can find those. I got that off of Amazon. It was actually sent to me as a gift, and it was an earring making kit. I did make several pairs of earrings. I had some left over. Some of the leather wasn't necessarily for earrings, so I do end up using that in other crafts as well. And I just cut out the G. This is going to my parents' house. I wanted to make something for their front porch, and so I'm cutting out a G out of the leather, and that placemat is just a felt placemat that came from Dollar Tree. It's very large, and I wanted something very large for this large piece of wood, and I think the orange is going to contrast so well with that blue. It's just going to, it turns out beautifully, and I love the contrast in the color. I love the bright blue and the bright orange. I love bright colors for any season. I love bright colors. So here I'm just placing that where I want it in the center. I don't measure. I was going to use a hot glue gun, but it was taking a little while to heat up because my battery was not charged, which I didn't realize. So I end up using the Gorilla super glue there. which holds leather. It holds, it holds it to felt. I didn't like the Gorilla Super Glue for other projects because it did expand and left like bubbles all over. It looked kind of like a foam spray type stuff when it dried. So I just used the Gorilla Super Glue to adhere the leather to the felt, and that held it really, really well. There hasn't been a problem with that coming loose or anything like that. And I just put enough on there. I put it in the center. I did not measure. A lot of times I'll just eyeball it. Most of the time you can look at something and see if it's straight or whatever. So, and I just picked a G that I liked. It was a simple font that I found in Microsoft Word. I just printed it large, and that was that. I didn't want to use my Cricut. Actually, I don't have a Cricut. I have a Silhouette Curio, and I didn't want to pull that all out. So I have a package of those Dollar Tree leaves, and I just want to see how they're, I want to separate the colors and spread them out all around. I really want it to look like the leaves are just falling all around. And so I'm just placing those here and there, trying to get colors not right beside each other. And then I used my berry garland that came from Dollar Tree. I love this stuff. I actually picked up a few packages of it because I could never find it at Dollar Tree, and they actually had the white as well, so I wanted to pick up several of the white because that can be used for any season, especially Christmas, which will be coming up next. So I just stocked up on that. They had tons of it. I didn't want to like take everything out of the store, but I did get about 8 packs of that total, just because it's wired, it's beautiful, and you can use it in so many different crafts. Now this one is the red and orange one, which again looks beautiful with the leaves and the fall colors. I just love the mixture of the colors, and on that bright blue it really does just pop. And I kind of walked away for a second because I was looking for something. I was having a little bit of trouble finding it. I apologize for that. I do appreciate you joining me today. If you have any questions, comments, please leave me a comment below. Let me know what you think. Again, that unicorn spit is a beautiful, vibrant gel stain. It comes in many different colors. I've used it for several different projects. I actually did a whole dresser, turned it into a buffet for our back sunroom. I just twirled this around, and then I'm hot gluing the felt completely down, and I'm just trying to make sure I use enough hot glue. This is going outside, but it's not going in direct weather. They have a covered porch, so it won't be like right in the elements, but it is going outside, so I want to make sure everything's secured down very well. And I just glued down all the leaves where I wanted them. Just a little dab of hot glue. I didn't want them totally flat. I still wanted them to kind of look like they are falling and blowing in the breeze. And I just finished putting all of those on, and this sign is almost finished. I don't do much else to it. I secure the garland up the top that I had twirled, and I twirled it around something large because I wanted it to be dramatic up there at the top. And then I just take a leaf, I believe, and place it there in the middle, just to kind of hide that glue spot, and also to give it a little extra hold. I'm having trouble fitting it into the camera frame right there, but I do show you right here the final project, how this turned out. It is rather large. I believe it's 24 by 24. I'm taking some of this owl ribbon here, and I'm just making a garland. I had some of those leaves left over, and a lot of that owl ribbon that I had gotten at the Dollar Tree, and you'll see me use that in another project in a little while. Everything in this is kind of owl themed, except for the sign. I didn't really add any owls to it, but I love the owls, and this ribbon is just gorgeous. So I'm just placing the remainder of my leaves, trying to spread out the colors, and I just glue those all down. I didn't show the end of that. I'm sorry about that. And then a little wooden owl I had painted brown and added some details with some rose gold. And then I just took a ribbon that came off of something else, that little raffia bow there, and then I'm making a little ribbon with the owl ribbon, and I just glue all of this down, and then he is finished. So he turned out very cute. I did not put a face on this owl. I did have another little tiny wooden owl I put a face on, but I didn't put one on him. These projects today are going to my mom, and my mom loves birds and owls and Um, I think it'll just look adorable with her other things that are in her home. So I'm just putting these all together, adding the ribbon, trimming up the edges there, and this project is complete. There you go. And then I got this little owl bucket from the Dollar Tree. The colors of the owl were awful. Like lime green and lime orange on a red bucket. It just looked awful that way. So I decided to get some paint out. And this is rose gold paint. And that I actually got on clearance for 50 cents at Walmart. Always check out the clearance sections. You never want to bypass those because you never know exactly what you're going to find. And I am constantly picking up things that's like, I don't need it right now, but it's on clearance. It's 50 cents. I pick up several things like that on anytime I'm in any store. I shop first at the clearance. Any store I go to, I go straight to the clearance. I am definitely a clearance shopper. I shop out of season. I didn't give this bucket total full coverage. I wanted it to, some of the red to kind of show through. And I'm sorry if you can hear my doggie in the background. She is a sweet golden lab, and she is laying in the floor right beside me. So I just paint that, and then I come back after it's dry. I had some flowers in it, and then I grabbed some white, a little bit of brown, and I just want to mix those together because I want it to be kind of a cream colored owl. I don't want it a bright white. I use these little bowls from Dollar Tree with the screw-on lids because it'll keep my paint wet. So if I have to step away for a while, which I often do, I don't have to remix the color because every time I remix the color, I can never get the exact same shade. So I try to do it in a sealed container. Just a little tip. So those little containers come 2 for $1 at Dollar Tree. They do have some smaller ones, I believe, that are 3 for $1. And I just want to paint out those horrible orange and greens. They're not even like typical orange and green. They are like lime. It's just a weird coloring combination and color for this owl. So I painted it a cream color. I left the eyes unpainted because I'm gonna just add some brown around it and make it look like the fur, because I didn't want to have to like repaint all of the eyes because I am not an artist. I can try, I can look at a picture and I can do my best, but they never seem to turn out quite right. I am not an expert on painting. And you can see some of my other projects there if you're interested in those. They will be in other videos. I've got this little owl votive holder at IKEA, and it was like less than $1. I think it was 79 cents. And it was just so perfect for this theme. It was just white. I wanted to darken it up a little bit, so I add some of the Waverly Antique Wax because I wanted those details to really kind of pop just a little bit more than they were. So I just added some of the antique wax and kind of dipped it down into the little grooves because it's a very detailed votive holder. So I thought it was beautiful. And I just made it a little bit more detailed. That was all I did except for taking some Mod Podge and covering that so that everything was sealed in and nothing would just wipe off or scratch off because it is on glass. So, and their white that was on there was not like a full coverage. You could see some of the glass through it. I didn't want any of it to like come off at all at any point. So I just sealed it with a coat of Mod Podge and I just pat it down into those little grooves again to keep all the color. I like how this turned out. It's just so simple but very cute. And then I'm back to my owl and I'm adding some of the brown now just to accent the fur. I just do little lines of where, you know, I think the fur would be like, not the fur, the feathers, I guess is, I'm sorry, owls don't have fur, they have feathers. So I'm just detailing some of the feathers and going around the little areas there to accentuate. This was a very detailed little metal piece attached to this bucket and I loved the detail in it. I just hated the colors that it came in. But color is easily changed. That is something you should never be afraid of. If you see something in a store and you think it's gorgeous, but the color is awful, don't worry about it. Paint, spray paint, you can change so much with just by changing the color. And this little owl turns out a little, if it was just an owl by itself, I would think it was awful because I am not, again, an artist. And so the face looks a little weird to me in the end. But because it's on this and I add flowers, it's just a cute little accent. And I really love how it turned out because it's not perfect. And that's okay. because it's art and it just turned out kind of cute. A little cutesy instead of just, you know, designer gorgeous, but that's okay. It's with the flowers in it, it really does look very gorgeous in the end. So sometimes I'm a little hard on myself. I criticize myself more than I criticize other people, that's for sure. But when it comes to crafts, I just enjoy making them. And if I'm having a good time and I enjoy it, I hope that somebody else will enjoy it. A lot of the crafts I make, I end up giving away, especially fall decorations. I don't really decorate my house for fall. I love summer so much and I want to hang on to it as long as possible, and I love Christmas, so I want to decorate for that as soon as possible. So I pretty much leave out, I do minor little decorations. I do outdoor decorations for fall, of course, a beautiful wreath on the door and so forth, but I go all out for Christmas, so I don't go all out for the fall. I want to be able to just enjoy the Christmas season. Here I'm just putting in some of that floral foam so that I can add my florals. I got this bunch of feathers from the Dollar Tree. It's glittery. It's like a bronze copper color. Absolutely gorgeous, and I wanted to use those. So I put them in the bucket, and then I arranged flowers all around them. I start with the leaves so that I can get the base in there first. And I watch a lot of YouTubers crafting so that I can learn different techniques. I don't normally just copy what somebody else does, but I learn their techniques. And there's a gentleman on his channel is Ramon at Home, and he does beautiful flower arrangements. He does wreaths, swags, anything with florals. And his saying is, what you do on one side, you do on the other. I have actually learned a lot by watching him and watching how he makes his flower arrangements. I really love how he makes his floral arrangements. And so what I'm doing on one side, I do on the other to make sure it stays even. I do add different things right in the center just to make it center. These flowers all came from the Dollar Tree, except for those sunflowers actually came from the thrift store. I had bought those for a baby shower that I did last year, and these were leftovers from there. I always try to save as many florals as possible so that I can just reuse those. I got these berry picks from the Dollar Tree, and mine, I don't know what happened. They were so stuck together. I really had to pry those apart without ripping them. It was just, they were like, I don't know, they were smashed all together. So I just tried to gently pull those apart without ruining them. I didn't care for the leaves that were on there. They just didn't match the whole rest of the thing. So I pulled those off. And again, what I do on one side, you do on the other. Thank you, Ramon at Home, for giving me that tip and for just always having beautiful ideas. So I'm just filling this in, finishing it up, and that is all complete. And here's the finished product. Again, I love how it turned out. The cutesy little owl on the front. Here's my little owls that I made with my leaf garland. And I hope you enjoyed these. I loved making them. Hello again. I hope you enjoyed those projects that I made. The sign, I enjoyed making that. I love working with unicorn spit. It's so bright and vibrant, and it is so easy to use. If you're afraid of colored stain, don't be. It's very easy, very fun to work with. I've done some other projects with it, and I really enjoyed working with the unicorn spit every time I've worked with it. So hope you enjoyed those. If you did, please subscribe, like, leave me a comment. Let me know if there's something else you'd like to see with unicorn spit or with anything else. I will see you later. Catch you next time. You have a blessed day. Thanks. Bye.